At Absolute Restoration, our team will feel magical since our focus is on serving you and your roofing needs.
Finding a roofer who actually shows up and communicates, that's just one of the problems we solve by informing you of every step in the process.
Selling premium roofing systems backed by warranties and payment plans starting at just $99 per month. Trust Absolute Restoration to deliver.
Experience unicorn-level service and affordability from a team your community trusts. Call Absolute Restoration today.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 10.
Welcome into Mississippi Live Weather at 10. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynor, and if you thought today was perfect, just buckle up for tomorrow morning. I mean, we are talking about as false fall as it can be without it being actual fall. Just those temperatures cooling off to near record lows. That's one of the things we're tracking here at the Room to Room Weather Center will be those near record temperatures for the start of our Wednesday. We're used to talking about near record temperatures regarding heat. Well, we're on the flip side of that scale with temperatures cooling off drastically for our morning commute. Better rain chances moving in as we head into our Thursday and Friday, and yes, unfortunately, into our week 1 college football weekend. But some of those potentials that we're talking about is the flooding potential that comes with it. That primarily for your Thursday, Friday, Saturday, more of that isolated in nature that we're used to this time of year. But Thursday, definitely going to be one of those soggier days. The first 12 basically showcases those cooler temperatures, 65 by 11, upper 50s as we head across our morning commute. So if you're waking up at 5 a.m., and you've had to wake up at 5 a.m. for work or school, well, finally, you're the benefactor of that, and you can rub it in for everyone that's sleeping in and missing out on these incredible temperatures. I mean, I'm going to set an alarm and wake up just because I want to experience this, and of course, to be with my wife and before she heads into school. But, you know, it's all the more reason to get out and enjoy it. Let's go ahead and start with some looks outside. Amory coming in with 63 degrees at Dew Point, basically lining up exactly with that temperature, meaning we're not cooling off too much more from there, and that's going to be the case for some of those counties in the area because that dew point is how much we're going to cool off. And so if that's a little bit higher, then that limits how much we cool off into the rest of our evening. Now, I do expect upper 50s in Monroe County, but it'll take a second before we get there. 68 degrees in Edinburg, dew point right around 66. That's what we're talking about with that dew point limiting how much we do cool off. But trust me, all of that will start to flip just a bit as we head further into those overnight hours. The fact we're talking about mid to upper 60s at 10:02, that can tell you how good of a forecast it's going to be. Greenwood 68, dew point right around 64, so that drier air once again still in the forecast, and that's why we're getting so cool is because it's so dry outside. Now, we did have a few of those showers move through the area earlier on today, and as I put this in play here, you know what, I might have to go off screen to do this. But as I put this in play, we can definitely see that showers tried to move through the area earlier this evening. Very light in nature, so we weren't seeing impactful rainfall, but still rainfall nonetheless, and we will take that for sure. Now, those showers primarily going to be on the west side of the state, moving across the Mississippi River, across Highway 61, but I mean, basically trace amounts of rainfall is what we received. As we look at some of those, some of that satellite imagery, we can see that the primary thing we're getting with this moisture is the cloud cover, and that cloud cover showcased all across North Mississippi with that densest area of moisture, basically Lowndes County, Clay County, and then off towards the south there towards Attala and Winston. So that's why those dew points slightly higher the further south you go. It's because that more of that moisture is in the air. So as we walk through that forecast, I mean, we'll definitely see what should be a beautiful forecast, just that moisture, a big driver in that forecast as well. So that stationary front, that's where that moisture is residing, but some of that northwest flow that we were talking about earlier on this evening, starting to circulate in some of that moisture from the next development we're seeing. So yes, that northwest flow, this is what we're talking about when we say that. So a lot of that action coming from the northwest as a jet circulates in that next development. That's the next development right there, way out in the Colorado Rockies. So high pressure driving our forecast for tomorrow, but as that high pressure moves a little bit more east, that's when that next weather maker will move into the forecast. Futurecast showcases exactly that high pressure slowly but surely shifting out there towards the east, and as it does, carries away those drier conditions with it and allows some of that moisture to move back into the forecast. I mean, you can see it as early. I think I'm going to sneeze. Achoo. Okay. That's a first. I don't think I've ever sneezed on air, but hey, there's a first for everything. Guess I'm allergic to cooler weather. Please, God, don't let that be the case. But let's keep going into our Wednesday morning. Apologies about that. High pressure moves off towards the east, and that's when some of this moisture that we're seeing develop out there towards the west cycles in, that northwest flow. You can really see it in full effect as I expand things out, as you can kind of see with those, I'll just draw it out for you. with this cloud cover basically following this trend right here. And so whenever we see that, we usually see this aloft as a good way of telling, but it's basically telling us that there's a trough out there towards our east, and then some of that ridging pattern out there towards the west. So I mean, we're getting that action for sure as that high pressure is associated with that trough and just going to, actually, I have that completely backwards. Golly, it's 10 o'clock. So high pressure, basically drier conditions. I'm going to clear this out here so we can get a good visual. But as we expand things back in, that moisture definitely playing a big part in that forecast and going to be steadily moving back into the forecast by noontime, 1 p.m., and even there towards the afternoon. A large part of that moisture out there towards Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Kansas. So we're not seeing those rain chances for our Wednesday afternoon, but late Wednesday evening is when those isolated showers move back into the forecast, and that transitions to widespread showers for our Thursday. So the next 24, dry as can be, but temperatures immaculate for the start of the day. We do warm up a little bit warmer than what we had today, mid-80s for our afternoon. But there you see that 10% chance as we head further into our Wednesday night, setting the scene for that soggy forecast on our Thursday. So coming up in the next 60, we'll be walking through that soggy forecast and just how much rainfall to expect. Latest outputs, as I promised you guys at 6, they are out and they are in agreement with what we were talking about earlier. We'll of course walk you through every step of the way and how that forecast will impact us here in North Mississippi coming up in the next minute.
For more than 100 years, First Choice Bank has provided dedicated community banking to North Mississippi. The banking products and services you need when you need them. At First Choice, you're our priority. Make First Choice your choice for banking.
March 24th, 2023 was a normal Friday. You know, we knew the weather was not good, but we needed to take shelter, and we didn't have shelter. My husband and almost 2-year-old daughter, Ethan and Riley, they did lose their lives in the storm. We're still recovering from it. We'll always be recovering from it. Matt Lawpon cares about the community. He's not just there to collect a paycheck. I feel like Matt Lawpon has proven himself trustworthy.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. But only you can prevent wildfires.
Right now, from the Mississippi Live Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
Well, I want to give a special thank you to everyone in the comments that said, God bless you. Genuinely, I don't know where that sneeze came from. It just wanted to be a part of the show, and I had no say about that. It was going to be in here whether I liked it or not. But we are going to transition into the beautiful conditions we had in North Mississippi earlier this evening. This is actually from my mom-in-law there, Miss Holly, there in Union County, submitting this, driving along 348 to a beautiful sunset across the region. I mean, it was just beautiful with all those colors, all those oranges and reds showing up, those vibrant colors. And it wasn't just in Union County, even out there in Baldwin. Prentiss, Lee County getting this beautiful sight there in the distance. Weather watcher Regina submitting this picture. So a big thank you to you guys. You guys listened to my challenge about submitting more pictures. And again, it just brings a smile to my face. And I know folks out there love seeing what you're seeing. And you guys are a big part of our team. So the more pictures you submit, the more action we'll be able to show off from you guys. And I mean, you guys take incredible pictures. Oxford, 63 degrees. Those dew points already in the low 60s there. So that's going to gradually be pulled back overnight. And we're going to be talking about a cool forecast tomorrow morning. I'm not saying sweater weather, but I mean, we're as close as we can be. But looking at Starkville, 66 degrees. I love seeing the campus just filled with light, filled with activity. I mean, school's back and the football's back too. It's just an exciting time to be down there, be a Bulldog, not just in Starkville, but also there in Oxford. I mean, folks are getting out and about and just ready for football season to be here. And as we take a look at Mississippi Live Weather Radar, we are actually in the driest pattern that we'll be heading into the next several days. That moisture pushing in from that northwest flow, and we'll really see those showers ramp up tomorrow, late night, and really for our Thursday. But right now, I mean, dry as can be across the region. It's just going to be that cloud cover that we are watching. Those rainfall totals, you can see trace amounts out there in the delta from some of those sprinkles we had earlier on this morning. I mean, non-impactful whatsoever. A lot of that impactful rainfall way out there towards the west, towards Little Rock and pushing back towards Oklahoma City. This threshold, that northwest flow, keeping it riding along that corridor, and that will slowly but surely push into the forecast here in North Mississippi. But looking at what to expect heading into the next 12 hours, it's not going to be the rainfall we're tracking. It's going to be these temperatures falling off into the upper 50s by 3, still feeling mid to upper 50s across the region by 5, 6, even all the way up until about 7 a.m. And that's where temperatures start to climb once again. But I mean, just immaculate temperatures and definitely something we don't see this time of year. Now looking at that, hang on a second. I thought I put this graphic in and I'm going to be very upset if it's not in there. So let me fix that here behind the scenes. Hang on one second. Where is this? Because I wanted to show this off to you guys. I put it in the wrong spot. Okay, so let's get back to this. So, oh wait, no, okay. I don't know what was getting into me. We'll get into it in a second. I do have a graphic in there that kind of walks us through the record low temperatures. Let's first get through the Futurecast overnight, and that's just going to be dry conditions. So not too much to talk about in regards to what's happening overnight. That northern wind, definitely a big driver in that forecast. But as we head into our early morning hours, once that cooling has fully taken place, that's where that moisture will be back into the forecast, helping cool us off just a bit. But this is what I wanted to show off to you guys. Mid to upper 50s across the region, and we are close to several records across the region. I mean, 57 Tupelo, 58 Starkville, 60 towards Greenwood, 58 Southaven, 55 Tunica. And yes, you do see that correctly, 54 Alcorn County. I'm curious to see what those actual temperatures read tomorrow morning, but that's as cool as I've seen in quite a while. 56 degrees Tupelo, that was the record set in 1945, and you saw on our graphic it says 57. 57 is the second lowest temperatures for August 27th, and that was set, I believe, in 1966. So we could tie that, but if some of these models are over projecting and we cool off even more, then I'll be curious to see if we set a record tomorrow morning that was 80 years long-lived. Columbus, 52 degrees. I don't think we get to that threshold, so I think the 1927 record holds on strong. Greenwood, 54, 2015, I think that holds as well. But the Memphis record of 58 degrees set in 1945, that could be broken as well. So we are tracking that forecast for some possible record-breaking temperatures, or at least getting close enough to where we can call it that, right? But that school day forecast, of course, a cooler start to the day, but we're jumping to the upper 70s by lunchtime. Last bell, low 80s, so slightly warmer than what we were sitting at today. That's a result of getting some of that clearing there towards the early morning hours, allowing that heat to be replenished in our atmosphere. But let's keep Futurecast going into our Wednesday morning and into that late morning commute. Cloud cover building in as the day goes on. And this is our latest model run whenever it comes to these rain chances. So this is the latest output. I promise you guys that. We're going to see exactly what to expect heading into that Wednesday and Thursday forecast. 10:30, still on the drier side. So a lot of that cloud cover that's moving in is some of those mid-level clouds that don't really have much precipitation associated with it. So we're not going to see a drop of rainfall through the day. It's just going to act as a blanket over the sky. Where we'll see those rain chances start to move in will be late into our Wednesday evening and pushing more into our Thursday. So any Wednesday afternoon plans we have, honestly, the blanket of cloud cover should help us by keeping those temperatures pretty low. And so that's a good thing, seeing all that, especially with that drier air, means we can get stuff accomplished outside that we so desperately need to. High temperatures topping out in the low to mid 80s, some upper 80s out there in the Delta showing up. But nonetheless, we are not even close to our usual high temperature this time of year. While it's not a record, it's appreciated, and we'll take every second of it while we get it. Low to mid 80s for those feels like values, showcasing that drier air, despite cloud cover building into the forecast, that moisture not reaching the surface, and so we're not going to be feeling sticky outside. But Wednesday night, here's that latest run I was promising you guys. Isolated showers start to move into the eastern side of Arkansas. And watch how we head into our early Thursday morning hours, already reaching parts of Senatobia, Memphis, Olive Branch, and those really become more widespread as the morning goes on. 3 a.m. Tennessee state line seeing scattered showers already. That really becomes more widespread by 6 and 7 o'clock in the morning. Some of those, some heavier output. So while we didn't have much meaningful rainfall today, by Thursday I expect that, especially for our morning commute, but that lingers all day long. And that northwest flow, like we were talking about, pushing in our next weather maker, and that warm front that you see in the bottom left of your screen associated with that. So while that warm front gets closer and closer, it brings some of those showers with it as well. And so we're going to see some heavy outputs, even a few rumbles of thunder with some of these reds that are popping up. That's going to be where we get some taller clouds and could have some electricity up in the sky. But as we keep that going, 12 p.m., just take a look at how much rainfall we'll see. So we are going to be getting our best chances of rainfall as we've seen in the extended forecast. Honestly, I put 50%, that should be raised, probably 60 to possibly 70. So make sure to tune in tomorrow evening as more of these runs are showcased out. But based off what I'm seeing, I mean, this is definitely a forecast that's going to be saturated, soggy, whatever you want to call it, it's going to be rainy. And so have that rain gear ready throughout your Thursday forecast because those showers will be sticking around all day long. Limiting how much we heat up, of course, we talked about with that moisture. Whenever we have that moisture in the sky, it kind of keeps those temperatures pretty uniform. So we're not talking about overly hot temperatures. We're actually talking about pretty cool temperatures with a low 70s showing up there along the Tennessee state line since they'll be having showers from start to finish. But pushing further to the south where you have some of those drier spells, they'll be reaching low to mid 80s. Still not hot. And still, we'll take what we can get. Heat indices, yes, moisture is back in the forecast, but it doesn't allow those heat indices to climb too much. So we are still talking about that drier fall-like format for those rain chances. So like I said, 50% on Thursday, probably underdoing it. We need to up that to about 60 to 70 based off of what I'm seeing right now. 30% lingers through our weekend and perfect for those week 1 football games, right? We want a rainy forecast. No. We don't. But that will be in the forecast, at least for some, as the coverage remains very isolated. So Thursday, rainfall totals. We talked about this at 6, how I kind of disagree with where they're pinpointing the exact bullseye on this system. I would pull this back just a bit more, but the fact that it's showcasing 2 inches in some spots, and this is usually one of our models that likes to spread things out. So if it's showing 2 inches, that means that that flooding threat is also something we are watching for our Thursday. Right now, a level 2, a slight risk to our flash flood threat, extending Highway 45 and further out there towards the west. Out on the east side, a level 1 threat, so definitely the potential for getting some of those higher rainfall outputs. And if you are in any flood-prone areas, we need to be taking the precautions well in advance before the heavy rainfall moves in. So that isolated rainfall does stick around in the forecast for our week 1 of high school and college football. But then as we head towards our early parts of next week, Monday and Tuesday, the rainfall clears out and the temperatures warm up. I don't think we reached that summer heat just yet, but we are still in the thick of summer. Would not be surprised to see that return midweek to late week of next week. So something we are watching, and we'll of course monitor that heading into that extended forecast. So keep it here for the very latest. But before I let you guys go, it is National Dog Day, and we had to showcase Johnny. Johnny was submitted there to highlight National Dog Day. And so hopefully you gave your pups a good pet, but if you didn't, then take them on a walk tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, as we are seeing beautiful conditions all day long and temperatures will be incredible. So let everyone enjoy it, your 4-legged friends and your 2-legged friends, your human, your family, your friends, just everyone needs to get out and about and enjoy this. But make sure to, you know what, I'll do you a favor. Treat. Now you have to give them one. All right, thank you guys for joining us. 57 tomorrow morning. It's going to be a beautiful forecast. You can, of course, track that forecast using the Mississippi Live Weather app, iOS and Android, looking here at the bottom left and right of your screen. And then, of course, our broadcast. First morning broadcast happening tomorrow morning with meteorologist Maggie McCauley, 6:30, 7, and 7:30 tomorrow morning. Everything you need to know for the day ahead, tracking not just the drier weather we'll have for Wednesday, but those rain chances heading into our Thursday. And we'll, of course, be back here at 5, 6, and 10 tomorrow evening for even more updates on that forecast. Yes, our team is complete. We are excited to give you guys even more weather information as you go about your work week. We thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you back here bright and early tomorrow morning. Make sure to tune in.
Growing up, Gabe was naturally curious. When he began to discover weather, Gabe just didn't want to know what was happening, but he wanted to know why it was happening. Gabe became fascinated with tornadoes, and it impacted his life. He wanted to pursue a career in meteorology. Even though Gabe grew up in Alabama, Mississippi has now become his home and his family. And one thing about Gabe is he keeps his family safe.